Welcome to this episode of Pop Snitch Podcast. I am back here with Brandon. Hey, Brandon.
We're back. Let's do it.
We did it.
We did it.
I
did it, Joe.
I have to say, before we even start, that I cannot stop laughing about something that you and my brother have in common. Are you ready?
What's that?
Okay, so with all of, the war around us coming, my brother called me the other day and was like, "Do you think I'm going to be drafted?" And I just laughed. And he was like, "No, I'm serious. Do you think I'm going to be drafted?" And I was like, "My man, you are 35. You have gray in your beard. No, you're
Me, a
good."
40-year-old man, I'm like very concerned. I'm like, this cannot be me.
You literally looked me in my face and was like, "What if they asked me to go to war?" And I'm like, "You are flat-footed, blind, and 40. Like, what? Why? Why would they ask
Well,
you?" They wouldn't.
now I'm offended, but go on.
When you said you were going to start wearing camo every.
Oh, yeah. Get my fatigues ready.
Let me tell you, if it is the end of the world, I'll tell you the one thing that I really want to pick back up. Can you guess what
Wh-
it is? A vice.
I really don't. Smoking, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
I have not smoked a cigarette in 10 years. If I find out that either AI is going to kill us in 2 years or, nukes, give me a cigarette. I've been standing on business, trying to be healthy, doing my thing, cutting back alcohol, no nicotine for literally a decade. And if that's happening, no, I'm about to go have fun.
We're
I miss
smoking.
it. Yeah, I'm going to start smoking.
Well,
Like that nuke comes over to New York City. I'm sitting here just
I
breathing
mean,
through it.
I hear what you're saying, but I also am concerned because I think about the same thing about like if the apocalypse comes and there's not access to medical and whatnot. It's like I don't want to start doing anything that's going to like cause something really painful. Like imagine like having some terrible, terrible throat cancer or something and not being able to like go to the doctor or get any treatment or get any like pain relief, you know?
Not you
So it's
trying
like
to
you
live
almost
long term after the apocalypse. No, I want out. I don't care about that at all.
Okay.
If that happens in I'm not meant for a post-apocalyptic world. Okay?
Okay. All right.
You know this about me.
We'll trust you on that one.
I'm an inside girl. I have contacts, I have glass. I've got too many issues that cannot handle post-apocalypse. I have no interest in it. I will find a way to put myself out of my misery if I must in that situation, but no. I can't you're like, "What if there aren't doctors?" All right,
I'm trying to
loser.
start
Why
the
are you
commune. I'm keeping us all alive.
All right, you do you. At this point, I would be of no service. I don't think I could have a child at this point. I would not want to do labor, I would be like
Um,
Paige in Summer House. Everybody else is out working the field. And I'm like, could someone bring me some water?
Speaking of Paige, we really forgot to cover the launch of Daphne
Oh,
in our
yeah.
last pod. And so,
Well,
we
I
love
hate any bad Paige speak. I
well,
really do because I
okay.
find her so funny. But
Well,
we have
I
to talk
love
about it.
Paige, but come on,
No, I
we have to
know.
cover this.
I
And
know.
so the whole influencer of it all is that Paige, is on Summer House. She loves to just rot in a bed. She had the best party of this past year, which was like the bed rotting party outside. Like I thought all that was great. At the end of Summer House, she decides to launch like what would you call it?
A pajama brand.
Yeah, pajama brand, a bed rotting brand.
Mhm.
And, we're
Which
looking at
felt
these.
very on brand for her. When she
Oh, of
announced it, I was really
course.
excited. I love that it's named after her cat. I thought that was really cute. And I was excited to see what she would come up with.
Okay, so we see some first pictures and it's her in the material. So of course it looks great. I mean,
Mhm.
anything she puts on is going to look great.
Literally,
Um,
like
it
a plastic
it
bag.
it does read hot, like too hot girl to me for a pajama brand, like two pieces of fabric, cinched together on the side by like a little string with your entire
Mhm.
side exposed. Not exactly a bed rotting outfit, in my opinion.
Well, I don't
Um,
think the only bed rotting thing that she wanted was the shirt that Hannah Berner inspired. And if I'm looking at a place for fashion, it's not Hannah Berner. And if I want a giant t-shirt, I'm gonna wear one of yours or an old one. I
yeah,
don't that's I'm not gonna buy an $85 giant T-shirt.
Well, I think that's where we need to get to, and that's the fact that I was thinking, okay, made in China, fairly nice looking, consumer priced items is what I was
Mhm,
thinking would be the launch.
mhm,
And as we approached the launch and we still weren't getting pricing and we still weren't getting looks at the outfits, I started to fear that we were gonna go with more of a extreme price model, which is what
mhm,
was launched. $200 for a
mhm,
set.
mhm,
And with this launch, there was a particular Instagram post that was just a lot of the product out on a bed,
mhm.
kind of lined up like it would be in like a store like the Gap. And when I tell you every item of clothing was wrinkled like it had been in a bag and shipped across the country. I mean,
It
I'm
probably
like,
had.
what are we thinking? Why are we not ironing things? Why are we not presenting things better than this?
Well, I think my biggest issue with it, I do think the price point's a lot. All of it is, from what I can tell, like organic 100% cotton, which in one sense is good that it's not polyester, but in the other sense, that is going to shrink and it looks very thin, which you don't want super thick pajamas. Like I get that. But to your point, it's going to wrinkle really easily. And then my other issue is her vision for it was for it to be something that you could wear to bed and then go walk your dog or go get coffee in your
Oh,
pajamas and it
mm-mm,
be
no.
fine. So she has like a ponte pant, she has, and I hate that. Like, I think it's
Pencil thin Ponte
yeah, I'm like,
pants.
I would just rather be in my sweatsuit or throw on shorts and a t-shirt than, like, actually wear something like that outside on the streets of New York City, like, that could never be me, and I think the other thing was the colors are really bland. Paige, when she is doing the fashionista part of her persona, I think looks so cute in her sets that are kind of, like, 60s and 70s inspired. Those
Er,
colors, when she did, like, the little flip with her hair and the headbands, I loved that. I thought that that's what kinda set her brand apart from the jump. So this was surprising, but I again, like, she said she put her heart and soul into it. She was picking out
we are
ribbing for the
Page
pants, like
stans. We are Page stans. I don't wanna paint
yeah.
this as if I'm coming for Page. I'm just saying,
Well,
"Honey, please let
and I
us
haven't
help
seen it in
you."
person because I'm not gonna buy, again, like, an $85 giant T-shirt or
Well,
a set that I don't like.
the thing that brought this back into uh, my ether is
Mhm.
the fact that today is some of the first influencers are getting their orders. And
Yeah.
these pencil thin t-shirts and ponte pants are wrapped in like, you know, tissue paper and stuff. And I'm like, oh no, are we paying for the packaging?
Yeah, I mean, the packaging looks nice. I
Yeah.
think
And I'm like,
she went hard on that, but I also think it's really difficult these days. You've got tariffs, you've got taxes, they also pull in just, like, a sample size when they first drop everything so that it sells out, and I think it's really hard to launch an actual product and sell it. Like, so much
I
harder
believe
than
that.
selling tickets to Giggly Squad or anything else that's made
Oh, of
them
course.
immense
Of
amounts of
course.
money. Starting your own business and your own line and launching it out is really, really, really hard.
Oh,
So, I mean, my advice to her would be like, if you love it, keep leaning into it, but iron it,
yes.
certainly.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think the color is where I'm like, I had hoped that it would be really unique, cute sets, and that's on me for having my own expectations, but I personally I had thought about getting something, just to kinda, like, see what it was, but I literally could not find one thing I liked.
Well, and to support our girl, like, I do
I
it like I
know.
said, like, we are Paige stans, like, I literally I mean, not to, toot my own horn here, but I honestly was thinking about buying you something just as, like, a fun present because I know
Look
you
at
love
you.
her so much,
I
and then I
do.
looked on there and I'm like, "She would be so angry at me if I
Yeah.
purchased this." Number 1, I
Um
don't think she would like any of it, and number 2, it's $200.
Yeah, we're still scarred from being, like, children of the '08 recession, so anytime something's, like, a little more expensive than usual, we're like, "Oh my god, what's happening? Are we poor?"
Well, and let's just, we'll get to it, but Megan Thee Stallion on Love Island last night selling $28 amazing looking bathing suits that
Swimsuits.
sold out in like 5 seconds. So we'll get to
Well,
it though. We'll
I
get
mean,
to
and
it.
I will say about Megan Thee Stallion, she knows her audience, and she
Mm.
knows who is gonna buy her stuff. She's very in tune with that. I actually think she's made a lot of savvy business decisions,
Oh,
from acting to what she's doing now. Like, people everybody, it seems like, really likes her, but I think people underestimate her business savvy, to be honest. Because
mm.
if she had just shown up on and we'll talk about Love Island in a minute, but if she had just shown up last night and been like, "Okay, and here's my swimwear line," and blah, blah she did not. She showed up, she knew everyone's name. She was calling them out, "Hey, Huda, cool it, baby, cool it." And telling Alandria she couldn't believe that she had, like, screenshots of her butt. Like, I she came in so genuine and into it that everybody showed out at the challenge, and it was just, like, genuine joy watching it, which we needed after the last few episodes, but like you
Well,
said, we'll get into that in a minute.
yeah. All right. Sounds good. Well, let's jump into your stories of the week here.
Okay, so I have a lot of them, but I also do wanna save time at the end, so we'll see where we are on time with some of these. The first one is a story that won't stop storying. That's driving me absolutely insane. I'm gonna go out of order from our notes, but this is the one about Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, and I begged them both, "Please, please stop coming up in my feed, like, I'm sick of hearing about you," but they won't. So on June 18th, so this week, a district court ruled that Justin Baldoni's legal team can access messages between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift, but only those related to the 2024 film It Ends With Us, which, God, we wish it would end. But it's about the ongoing harassment and defamation case. So Baldoni's team had previously tried to subpoena these directly and then dropped it. But because the texts are still considered potentially relevant, as Lively herself said that Swift knew about her concerns on set, they opted to allow him to look at it. So the messages are gonna stay under a protective order, so we aren't gonna see them, but it's part of this, like, broad feud, obviously, and it is I mean, we know Scott Swift leaked the information that Taylor was being blackmailed, so I'm curious to see your
Extorted.
thoughts. Extorted, sorry.
Well, I'm I'm honestly blown away by all of this, and honestly, it awakens, like, a fear in me because I'm like, I'm never, ever going to text anyone ever again. Like, if they can be subpoenaed by a judge, I'm no more texting, absolutely
Let me
no more
tell you, I
texting,
will be in jail if anyone gets a hold of my text message. If I
a
die, clear my phone, clear my
and
search history.
as a fully positioned elder millennial, a
Mm.
lot of my younger friends get pissed off because I love a phone call. Let
It's
me
the
call you.
most boomer
L
thing about you just calling out of
l
nowhere.
Let us gab. Let me call you in the middle of the day. Like, I love phone calls. Like, I wanna talk on the phone.
You like going on a
And
walk and putting in your,
he
headphones
yes.
and just, like, gabbing with someone.
And so, like, if our only relationship is going to be over text or in person and text only, like, our relationship's gonna suffer, let's just say that. And my thing is like, this just proves my point further. Like, they are not gonna subpoena my phone calls. It's not being recorded, but my text messages that they can just be like, "We subpoena your text messages. Let me see them all." Like, that is gonna get me in trouble very,
They'll
very
find me
quickly.
face down in the East River, like, I'm not
Yeah.
showing you that, sorry.
I'm like,
You took my
"Come and get my
life.
phone. You gonna have to
Yeah.
send the police because I'm
Yeah.
not giving it up willy-nilly." And I would honestly, in some ways, depending on who was gonna be reading the text, I would be willing to go to jail. Like, I'd rather go to jail than people read the texts.
Well, I'm so curious to see how Taylor's team is gonna respond. I mean, obviously, they're gonna have to comply with the judge, but I can imagine that this is, like, the nail in the coffin for their relationship, which
Oh,
it
how could
seems
it
like
not
that
be? How could it not be?
I mean, it was already a red flag that they were friends, to be honest, but
Hmm.
I'm kind of glad that she's moving away from it, and she'll be doing her little movie nights with Travis Kelce, who, by the way, did you see he's lost 25 pounds since everybody made fun of his dad bod?
Well, I'm sickened by that. I mean,
I
his
know.
bod was fine. It was the hairy back situation was getting a little untamed, but
Oh, I agree, but, like, people were coming for his body. I'm like, "Let this man live."
I mean, also, like, can we be happy?
Right,
And
right. God
you
forbid
know what I'm
someone gain a
saying?
little
Like,
happy weight.
yeah, seriously. And the thing is, like, he's getting worse at football because he's getting old. It's not because he gained a few pounds. You know what I mean?
Right. He's not distracted. It's not Taylor's fault. He's in his late 30s. We know what it's like. The body breaks down.
Oh
She
my
gets
God.
tired. Okay? It's tough,
Yes.
and it comes for us all, okay? But, I wanna shift, since we were talking about Paige earlier, into, like, some undercover TikTok rumors about
All right,
Lindsay.
let's hear it.
So, I don't know if you caught, I think it was on Tinks's podcast where Jesse Solomon was like, "There's a big reveal at, the reunion," and so we're all sitting there waiting on a big reveal, and I get to the end of the 2nd episode, I'm like, "Where is she?" And apparently it was that Lindsay is no longer dating Turner, her baby daddy, because he's so private and it just wasn't working, etcetera, etcetera. Well, there's a lot of rumors flowing that she actually still is, and she announced that, and I will give Lindsay this, she is the queen of PR. There's a reason she had her own firm. I think she went out and announced that they were not together, but they were co-parenting well, so that people would pipe down and stop trying to find out information about him.
I mean, yeah, I guess I just don't understand. I don't understand the internet. I mean, here I am as a person who's particular, who is
It's literally
participate.
your job, your literal job
Yes,
to be good at the
I,
internet.
I'm participating in an online podcast about pop culture and reality TV, and I truly don't understand why anybody is spending time trying to figure out Turner, a man that Lindsay is dating and has a baby with, but isn't on the show. Like, my mind has never gone to, you know what? I need to start researching the people who aren't on the show that are somehow connected to the show. Like, that's just not in my wheelhouse. And so
Well, you
the
know
fact
what?
that
And
people
that's
are,
why you're not a woman, because
the
women.
fact that people are doing that is wild, and I have to just clap for you.
Yeah,
But
we're FBI
I
agent.
don't understand that.
It's just we gotta know. We gotta know who, I mean, think about all the weirdos that Lindsay's been with. Like, we need to know, where does he fall on the line
Oh, that's a
of
good point. Now you've got me
men?
interested.
That's my point. Yeah, so you get interested, you get a clue, you see a follow, you find information, you find out where he works, maybe you hide out.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
we've been married for 16 years, you know
Oh
what
my
I'm
god, we're so
saying?
old. Yeah.
And so my
Well, really,
question
you're
to
so
you,
old.
yeah, just imagine you're back on the dating market now, right?
God
And
forbid.
you're seeing, like, back when we started dating, there was no, I mean, there was Facebook, but there wasn't Instagram, there wasn't, like, ability to kind of, like, follow someone's every move online.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, if you're back out there, like, do you have the inclination to, like, fully internet sleuth a person that you're dating or that you're about to go on a date with? Like, are you gonna go into, like, deep online reading every blog post they've ever posted? Like, is that part of, like, what your mind would wanna do?
Yes, I don't wanna be killed, okay? I don't wanna be
That's
taken to
true.
a
I guess
lair.
the whole female aspect of it is
Yeah, I need to
probably,
know what I'm
yeah.
getting into. I need to know who this person voted for, very important to me. I need to know, what
I
kind
mean,
of
why is
stuff they're
that not public
posting,
record,
what the I
honestly?
know. What are they posting? What are they, like, into? I like that you can see what people like on Reels. You can find, like, the most
Mm.
unhinged thing. Yeah, no, I would be sleuthing for sure. I don't think I can be on the apps because one of 2 things would happen, and there is with me, as you well know, no in between. I would either be drunk with power, just, like, swiping on these people or just getting dates or whatever, or my self-confidence would plummet to a level where I'd be like, "I'll just be alone forever, nobody talk to me."
Well,
So,
I mean, well, here's the thing. You just said something that really triggered something in my brain, which is that people can see what you've liked. Now, I've been
yeah.
aware of this from day one, and I just assumed it the first time I ever jumped on Instagram. You
Oh,
know what
yeah,
I'm
I just
saying?
assume everybody can
But
see everything.
But there are people out there who are not aware of this, including Jax Taylor. But, like, I'll go on to, people who will remain nameless from my life
Mm,
and, like, look
mhm.
at and they will have it fully available for me to look at every post that they've liked, and I'm
Oh,
like,
baby, you will find some
there
things.
is criminal activity happening on the internet right now,
Yes.
and the
Yes.
thing is, like, let me tell you, you will not see what I've liked because, number
Nope.
1, I never like anything
Same.
because I don't want anyone to see it, and number 2, like, all of my privacy settings, even though even in my public accounts are like, you can't see who I follow, and you
Mhm.
can't see what I've liked, except for
Yeah,
on that is the one thing I really hate about Instagram is that your follows, they are out there.
they
They
sure
are
are.
out there for the world to see,
'Cause
and
you like to follow for curiosity. I
oh,
won't
yeah.
follow someone that I know. I mean, you and I both came from, like, the evangelical world
Oh,
and are
yeah,
very
yeah.
well out of that now, but, like, I won't follow anybody who's, like, posting about that specifically because I'm like, "No, I don't want that in my algorithm."
I mean,
Um, and I won't follow people who are Trump supporters unless they're, like, old friends that I've been following on there forever, and that's just to be like, "Hey, don't do that."
well, let
You
me
know?
tell you, no one is allowed to go through my followers list because it is a wide
It's a
range
wild
of
ride.
yeah, it is a wild ride, and I will follow another part of it is, unfortunately, this is kind of boomer of me as well, I'll follow anybody.
You will, you
Like,
have no shame. So if we'll have a friend, we'll go out on a date with a friend, go out on a date with a friend, go on, like, a double date with people, and
we'll go on a
it'll be
date with some friends.
and it'll be, like, someone bringing their significant other for the first time, or even maybe, like, we're just, like, chatting and they tell us about it, bring them in. We'll get on Facebook or Instagram, and just friend them right there. He'll
Oh,
friend their
yeah,
mom. He will literally friend extended family of someone he has never met before in his life. And
and
I'm like,
people
"That's
wonder how I make
bonkers."
such great friends and have, wonderful relationships with people.
No,
It's
that's
because, like,
lunatic behavior.
I'm just out here. I'm trying to make friends and influence people.
Mm, okay. That's yeah, no, that can never be me. I just think that's crazy. But I wanna move on to, there's been a lot of controversy online as well. Let me help you understand the internet real quick. There
Please
was
help me.
there there were, like, these suspicious Instagram posts about how I forget who the oh, the someone said that Huda and Jeremiah had been dating prior to being on set, and then someone took that exact same Instagram post and copy paste, but changed the names to Chelley and Ace, saying that they had, like, been dating previously, and this was all a ploy to win and all of this. I don't believe it, but it is funny that, like, it spiraled from that exact message to people saying that they, like, had a baby together, so much
Oh
that both
my
of their
god.
families and friends had to come out on their social media accounts and be like, "Hey, they met at a club once." They acknowledged that on the show. They DM'd a few times because they don't live in the same city. Like, y'all are
See
crazy.
see, this is my biggest fear with, like, going on a show like this because, like, that's another thing, like, I
I'm sorry, are you
obviously, I
planning
wouldn't
on going on Love
I n
Island?
can you shut up and let me finish? Thank you.
Speak more
But
quickly.
I've thought about, it would be a show like Big Brother or something like that, definitely not a
Okay.
dating show. I've never been in the contingent for that, but I would say, like, I don't like the ones where you do not have access to the outside world. I mean, there is a war
That's all
spinning
of
up
them.
right now.
Well, I
You know what I'm
know.
saying? There's a
You're
war
out here
spinning
trying to
up.
buy fatigues.
People are online, like, talking about me, having opinions about me, like, critiquing everything about my
Oh god.
personality and, like, pointing out things that I would have never even seen in myself or in others, and, like, and then to just be dropped back into the natural world thinking, like, "Everyone loves me, of course they're on my side, they were trying to protect me," and it's like, everyone on earth hates you. They thought you were annoying and and combative and awful.
No, it's so I really do when I think about it. I mean, I we are old enough to remember when just nobodies on Twitter would post something to like 200 followers and somehow it would catch steam and they'd get off a plane back when you didn't have internet on a
Oh.
plane or whatever and like you've lost your
Absolutely,
job.
absolutely.
Your front
Well
page news.
and that's why on this podcast, I hope that we can try to find a little bit of grace for even the worst offenders of reality TV, because,
Oh my
I mean,
gosh, yeah, they're
it
still
is
people.
hard out there. It is hard out there.
Yeah, when I'm watching reality TV, I really try to think of them as characters as I'm looking through it. But remember, Huda, she is a mommy, a mother of a
Oh,
human
yeah.
child.
Yes.
And
Which
she
is she could learn to think about as well.
I'm I know. I feel sorry for her in advance for how this is going to be when she gets out, but I'm also like, she's gonna have so many followers. She's gonna be able to do brand deals. Like, I
Well,
hope
she's a
that she's
fitness
able to spin
influencer
it.
too, like,
Yeah.
it's not like she's gonna be running for Congress.
Well, and she looks great.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
hopefully, that will be something. Well, let's go ahead and talk about Love Island. We watched the episode last night. What number episode was that? Like 14 or 15?
Yeah.
It
We'll
was
get better
14.
at this.
Um, it was the Megan Thee Stallion episode, but prior to that, the other thing I did wanna talk about is cold sore gate. Like, what is going on? All
Every
the guys
man
have
on the
cold
show
sores.
every man on the show is either under the most extreme stress, and it is
Yeah,
causing their face and lips and everything to break out in some heinous rash, or there is a full-on herpes outbreak on the island, and I'm not so
yeah.
sure that it's not that, honestly.
Well, they didn't have kissing last night,
Well, of
which I
course
thought
not.
was interesting that, like, they're cooling it on that, and even, Sierra someone was saying oh, maybe it was Shelley. She was like, "Nobody else kissed when they opened the doors, just me and Ace." I'm like, "He's the only one without a cold sore."
I know, it's like, there's an outbreak. I mean,
There
this is patient
has to
0.
be yeah. I mean, Nick, he had something that had its own area code on his
Well,
mouth.
that boy was so stressed out last week. I mean, my God, like, that can't be we can't be judging him for
Yeah,
whether that's herpes or not, because, I mean, the amount of stress he was under, his face was breaking out.
it really was. Alright, well, let's talk about the Megan and the Stallion of it all. Do you wanna start there?
Yeah, I
Megan
mean,
of the Stallion? Like, what am I saying?
Megan shows up, she's fully engaged with the show, she knows what the storylines are, I mean,
She
salute her
looks
for that.
they did the slow-mo walk. She
Oh,
said that her ass was clapping, and I was like, "No, we see, we see."
well, I said this, the challenge last night was a twerk off, and about 5 seconds in, I leaned over to Rachel and I said, "If I was there on the island, they would have to take me out on a stretcher because I was dead."
Between seeing Megan Thee Stallion and then the twerking of Huda and Alandria specifically, passed out. You're gone. You're
I need
dead.
help. I
You
needed
need
yeah,
water, you need rest, nutrients,
mm,
maybe an IV, but, like, you're gonna be okay.
yeah, but I
I'll
was
tell you,
there.
when I watched that, when she said there was gonna be a twerk off, here's what I noticed. The white girls were not involved, and I been there and someone said twerk off, I have a big butt that I really should figure out how to do this without, like, throwing my back out, but I that is my nightmare. I literally would be panicking, sweating, begging to not have to do it on national TV. I would absolutely pass away. I'd be using
Oh,
that
and
fake phone, like, "Can someone connect me to the internet and look up how
well
to twerk?"
well, first of all, let's not even talk about the Taylor of it all.
No,
I
we
mean,
have to talk about Taylor.
the try hard of it all,
See,
the
I don't think it was
insane
try
body
hard.
motion.
I just think, like, it's the body motions were one thing. When he was humping the floor and his braids were, like, clack, clack, clacking on the floor, and he was making that weird face, I was like,
Mm-mm.
"Alandria,
I mean,
Alandria."
she got a major ick. She got a major ick last
I
night.
think
You could
she
see it in her
did.
eyes.
Listen, the fact that that man has the audacity and I like Taylor, but the fact that he has the audacity to be like, "I don't know if I'm that into Alandria," and then he's moving like that
But
and making those faces.
that's how it goes. Like, I think that's why she's like she's in that trying to figure out mode of like, why do we
Mhm,
connect? But like for some reason he's distant, physically. And it's like,
mhm.
no, no, the problem is him, honey.
Yeah,
Like
it's not
that's the
you.
issue.
Yeah, it was unreal. I thought Nick and Austin surprised me.
I mean, they literally went for it,
They did
period.
better than Ace, whose job it is to, like, teach people in Indonesia how to dance.
People in what is that? What is
That's
people
his
in
thing.
Indonesia?
He, like, has a TikTok account dedicated to it, like,
Oh
very
my
specific. I
word.
thought it was that. I'll look it up and make sure. But yeah, but I mean, Austin absolutely cracked me up when he was like, "I really wish that I had a juicy butt."
Oh man, he speaks uh my comedy language. He literally does it for me. Like he makes me laugh so hard.
I'm trying to find ugh, it's not giving me what I need. Alright, I'll look it up in a minute. Yeah, no, he is
Yeah,
maybe it's not Indonesia.
we're gonna have to revisit the Indonesian dance company
I
that
that's
Ace
what
apparently has.
I read. No, it's not a da well, his dance company okay,
He's in
Ace
LA.
it's TikTok.
Well,
Dance
Ace is from LA though, right?
right, but I don't think it's not like, when we think of dance company like, when you say dance company, what do you think of?
I think of like the dance companies like up in Harlem and stuff where they like, they teach kids and then there's like, they get older and then they have like a adult company and all of this.
Okay. His is, like, it's just online, like, he's just doing TikToks.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a
Um,
dance company. That's like a maybe he is calling his business a company, but that is not a dance company.
right. I mean, yeah. So, anyway, I thought Austin and Nick did a better job than Ace dancing. I was, like, shaking my Austin at the end, the hunching over, I could have done without. It almost looked like he was retching, like,
Oh no, yeah.
what am I looking
There
at?
were issues.
Nick, I think he was the only one who looked sexy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got, we talk about these things is that, attraction is only part visual, right? Like there are all
Especially
these
for women.
yeah, there are all these intangibles. Like what
Mhm.
does Nick smell like? What is the energy that he brings into a room with him?
Mhm.
And I think that we're beginning to kind of see that there is an intangible with Nick with almost all of the girls that we don't quite get a picture of on the show, but that is very attractive to the females on the show for sure.
Well, what I'd love for you first of all, you gotta stop saying female.
Why can't I not say female?
It's giving Carl Radke.
Well, okay.
Ah,
All right,
I'm just
whatever.
letting
Can't
you
say
know.
female now, everyone.
Oh my gosh, what will you do? There are no other words you could use.
Canceled. Use the word female.
Oh my god. Um, well, I thought it was funny that you were so annoyed that they weren't doing the limbo rules right.
Oh, no. I mean, they were getting on their knees, they were hunching over forward, like, why was there not someone
Like,
there to
how'd you touch that
control
with your
this?
shoulder?
And where are the judges? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. I
Someone
mean,
needs to, like, beep and say, like, "No, that doesn't
yeah,
work."
like you're yeah. I needed there to be more rules and rule following with that. I understand that Love Island challenges are like primarily about being sexy and cute and fun,
Yes.
but like there
That
have to
was
be
my
that went
one
off the
note.
rails.
That was my one note for Megan, like, maybe judge the competition correctly.
Well, here was my biggest issue of the evening. I cannot believe the disparity of bombshells. And I know it's like all over the internet, and I'm sorry to TJ. That man came in with lifts on and still very much looked 5'6". Like, we already have one tiny terror in the villa who's causing, like, all kinds of I don't even know what to say what he's doing, but he's getting in everyone's head, he's playing games, he's doing all this it's clear he's, like, very in touch with the manosphere, trying to get girls to chase him and run away, and now we have another one who like,
Well,
what are we doing?
I will say I mean, the women were not feeling that way about him. They were eating him up almost immediately, and I don't know if that's just the shine of a new penny or what, but
I'll be curious.
I think he's gonna make waves in the house. I don't think you're ready for it.
If your torso is the same size as mine, you can't get on this ride, you know? Like, I can't no. And then well, the audacity of
Well,
them
everybody knows
complaining
you like them big.
Wow. Okay. Um, Oh, well, I'm not recovered. But, like, the the dichotomy of him coming in, and then they bring in this woman who is the most curvaceous, luscious-looking woman I've ever like, someone said this online, it's true, like, they brought him in as a bombshell, and she was a nuke. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
the disparity, and I think it's such a picture into what dating is like right now for women. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because getting, like, small procedures, like your lips done or, Botox or whatever is so popular among young women and plastic surgery is so normalized. But, like, with men, like, we have finasteride and men are still balding at, like, 25 or they
How
aren't, like, there's just no when I don't know. There's just no one on the island who I'm like, "Wow, what a hottie."
well, yeah, they're also children compared to us, so
How
that
dare
might
you.
also be a factor.
How dare you. No, I mean, I could still look at someone ow, I just hit my knee, who's 25 and be like, "Oh, that's a good looking guy." Like, I think Jeremiah is very good looking.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with Huda was kinda like, ugh.
Mm. I think the biggest thing with the new bombshells are, like, who are they going to appeal to? It seems like she's appealing to all of them to the
Literally
point to
everyone.
where they were, like, showing out in a very, very icky way. Like, if any of those
Yeah.
guys had been like, if I'm Olandria or I'm, Huda or if I'm any of those girls and I'm seeing, Taylor and Ace and Nick, like, clapping hands, jumping up and down for this new bombshell. I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" Like, we've been here for a couple of weeks now, like, we have a relationship going, and one person walks in and you turn into, like, a little school child? No,
Mm.
thank you.
Mm-mm.
Ick.
Well, like, look what she has to choose from. Taylor he's out there flexing his scrawny muscle, sticking his tongue out, thrusting. No. Immediately no. Ace? Again, like, we can't be the same height, bro. Like, you gotta no.
You're
N
coming hard for the short kings today, I will just say
I'm
that.
afraid of short men, and I know
Oh.
that's a sweeping generalization, I don't care. I have just found this is just personal anecdotal evidence. A lot of the short men who I have known have caused chaos. And
Okay,
so if
alright.
I'm dating no, I think it comes from people like me, right? Like a sense of insecurity of like, "Oh, no, I'm short, they're not gonna like me." I get that, and listen, 5'10", I'm not considering you that short,
Oh, of course not, because that
but
person is normal height, like, what are you talking about 5'10"?
well, I have never dated anyone you're the shortest person I've dated, and you're 6 feet, 6'1". You
Like I
better not get
said
shorter.
like I said, you like some big.
And, like, the idea of being with someone tiny, I don't know, it just kind of freaks me out.
Okay, I'm gonna save you here. Maybe you should change the change the, subject here. The short king
Okay.
population's gonna come after you, the manosphere.
Yeah, they aren't listening to this, I don't
They
think.
might
We'll
go
see.
viral.
Oh lord, I'll go viral and they'll be like, "She likes them big." I'm like,
Perfect.
"Relax." Okay. The other thing I wanted to I did wanna say, I do think it's giving us a picture into what women are dealing with, though, out there
I
in these
like that.
streets.
I like
All of the
that. Good take.
girls in their 30s are like, "I cannot find a man who I find attractive and like his personality." It does feel and we're seeing this on the show, it feels like an either or. You got someone like Austin who is not like he's okay. He's very mid in terms of, like, attractiveness, but he's funny, and so I think that's what's really saving him with the girls, and then Nick is attractive, but I think there's not a lot going on between those ears, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let's go through them real quick, and let's talk
'Kay.
about what are the relationships, that should stay, what are the ones where people need to get out there and maybe experience something and, like, try on a new pair of shoes.
Okay, I think Nick and Sierra are both kind of just waiting to try on a pair of new shoes. I think that they are enjoying each other, but to me, they both seem pretty open.
Oh, ooh, boy, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I think they both should stick, because I don't think that there's going to be better fits for them from this point. I believe that they are actually a cute couple, a good couple. They seem to like each other. They seem to have good banter with each other. So I would say stick with them. What about
I disagree.
uh,
I think they'll end up going other ways. Go on.
Okay. What about Olandria and Taylor? What do you think?
I think they should explore other people. I fear that they won't,
I
or that
agree with
she
that.
won't. Yeah.
I agree with that. I don't think Taylor's going to have the option, quite honestly.
I'm
And
surprised.
and
I am shocked he has the option of Alandria. Like, she is.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think anyone else is going to come in and be like, "Ooh, Taylor, I need to pull him." No, it's not going to
Mhm,
happen. Like,
mhm,
that's not where he's going to shine on an island with a bunch of hunky men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
he's a good guy, he's a funny guy, but like that's not his shine. And especially somebody who's coming in without the knowledge of how he is, like, I don't think that's going to be helpful. So where are you at with Huda and Jeremiah? Where are you
It's
at?
over.
Like,
Crap, they gotta get away from each other, unless they both couple up with other people that they are in. I don't think either of them has a chance until one of them is gone.
do you think that Huda will be the next to be voted off if she doesn't couple up?
Yes.
Okay.
I think people are
Um,
really exhausted by her.
what do you think about Amaya and Austin?
I think they might meet each other's freak. Like, I think it could be it could be good. She needs someone who's high energy, and I think he might too. So, it doesn't seem like I don't see sparks flying, but I could see it turning into something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even say this pejoratively towards either one of them, but they seem intellectually on the same wavelength.
It
And
does
I don't
it
say
does
that because
sound pejorative.
well, and I don't think that they're necessarily dumb, but I think
Uh-huh.
they're thinking on a level that is very similar to each other. Like it seems kind of I mean, yeah, it's a little defunct of the same kind of reasoning that I would be employing on the island. Um but yeah, like I think they match.
What do you think about Ace and Chelley?
I I mean, Ace is just such a tryhard, and he loves something new and shiny. He loves somebody chasing him. Like I honestly don't believe that he's mature enough to be in a relationship of any kind. So the idea that he would end up with anybody, I think is just, you know, I mean, I think he's there for clout more than anything, I
Mhm.
think, like and I think he has the personality for it, like, I think we'll
Mhm.
be talking about Ace for a long time because I think
Oh,
that he
yeah.
will go on to do
Joke's on
other things,
us.
and I think that people like him, obviously, women like him, almost immediately, and I
Mhm.
think that he will go on to do a lot of things after this, and so but I do believe that will be his ultimate end. I don't think he ends up with somebody and then we start hearing wedding bells anytime soon, no matter who it is.
Well, in regard to Hannah and Pepe, it is so funny to me that she went from one night sleeping and crying with a picture of Charlie next to her
Oh,
to
mama.
2 nights later being in bed with Pepe and licking her hand to do something with his pee-pee, like,
Oh,
right
yeah.
there
I mean,
in the room
yeah.
with other people sleeping.
I mean, she is giving the internet something to look at today, for sure. I have seen that in my feed over and over, and the memes are out of control. So,
I
you know,
love it.
Hannah, we love you, but man, you really gotta be paying attention to what those cameras can see.
What do you think about them as a couple? Do you think that they'll go the distance?
Um, I don't know. I think Pepe is gonna try pretty hard to engage with this new bombshell, the whole connection. They both speak
Mhm,
Spanish. They both have that like cultural connection. So I think that there could be some sparks that fly there, depending. And I think, and by sparks, I mean maybe between them, but also between him and Hannah because of that. And I think that
mm,
like Hannah's definitely open to exploring other things, I would say.
mhm,
So I think that relationship's pretty doomed, but who knows? Like,
mhm.
I mean, after the hand licking, we don't know what's going on. So but I'm very interested to see what happens with Iris because
Mhm.
there's already connection happening
I
with
don't think
her
she
and
and
the new guy.
Jeremiah are gonna
Oh, no,
I
no,
think
no,
that's
no, 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 no,
over.
no, no. No, I
Um,
think if Jeremiah and Huda, I'm really, really scared that they will reconnect simply because they are out of options. I think they will
see,
find out very quickly that they are damaged goods in the eyes of everybody else on the island so far.
I hear that. I do think that both of them have been talked to. One thing I will say about this cast that I was really impressed with is how direct they were. They stood up for Huda, they'd been in the villa with her for longer, and then they literally set her down. Taylor set her down and said, "That is the last time we do that. We are done. Stop talking to him. Stop pulling him for chats. Stop doing all this." And what does she do? Walks right over there in the middle of him talking to Iris and is like, "I just want one more chat." And I swear, you could tell sh
I've lost you.
sorry, I hit mute. She was
Okay.
changing the tone of her voice, and when she hugged him, she was very clearly waiting on him to kiss her. And he turned his cheek and gave her a hug and was like, "Alright," and that's the last conversation. So I genuinely believe that he is done. What I fear for him is that if he does not connect with this new bombshell, then I think she will my prediction is that she will be into either Jeremiah or Nick, and if Jeremiah
No
doesn't make that
way.
connection, alright, we'll see. If Jeremiah doesn't make that connection, I think he'll be out. Um, and then same for Huda. If she and she's not she's gonna try to connect with this guy. I think this guy's gonna be into Iris.
No, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, of course, I think that was pretty evident from the
Yeah, we
scenes
saw that.
from tonight, but I just don't know, like, I worry about the Jeremiah and Huda of it all getting back together. Even her, like, I feel like there was a little bit of, like, gaslighting activity last night where she was, like, getting quiet in her voice and, like,
Mhm.
taking the tone down and being like,
Oh, she was
"It just
trying.
it just really hurt me, and I just
"You
didn't
just broke my
understand, and you
heart."
broke my heart," and I'm like, "What?" This is just, like, creating a completely false universe, a false narrative, a false reality,
Mhm,
and I worry that with lack of options, he falls for it, or at least falls for it for the show,
mhm.
and then by the time we're doing a reunion, or by the time they're off the island, they're both, like, just they've catapulted this relationship into, like, just outwardly fighting online and stuff.
I don't think so. I think they're done. I think she still has a thing
Okay,
for him.
alright.
I think he is done. I'll say that. I think he's done with her. If he weren't, then he would have kissed her. I think he's embarrassed. I mean, the guys have literally been like, "I don't wanna hear you say her name." Ace told
Oh,
him that.
yeah.
"I'm
They're
sick of
done.
hearing her n" Everybody is done. The girl Sierra sat her down, and I thought she was so eloquent and thoughtful and kind but firm with her, like, you don't need to beg for a man's respect. If you don't feel like he respects you, you gotta let this go. You look bad. This is making everyone uncomfortable. Like, she just did such a good job of saying directly to her in a way that she felt Huda could hear. And nothing she said more intensely stuff to her face than she said about her behind her back. And so I just thought, I read this article that was like, "Girls trying to be girls is killing the season." I'm like, "I don't think it is." They're not gonna have the same relationships that
How
they had last
so?
year because 'cause they're saying that they're not going for each other's men. But I'm like, "That's fine. That's what the bombshells are for." But
I
Huda, it's not the other girls trying to be good friends. It was Huda attacking every new person who came in to be like, "Did you see that she looked at Jeremiah?
I
She didn't know?"
I could not disagree with this more. Like, as far as, like, people's feeling about the show this year and that it's actually being ruined by the girls not going after each other's men. Like, I felt like last year, that felt like production to me. That
Oh,
felt
interesting.
very produced. That felt very like all of these people are here for clout. They're not really here to develop relationships. Like, what appeals to about these relationship shows to me is like determining who are the people who are really there to connect, and that
Mhm,
really, like, that's what draws me to it, not just pure drama and pure that, like, I like the pure drama in relation to the people who are really there to find a connection. And so for me, when I see that the girls are going after each other's guys, even though it looks like they have a connection with somebody, like, that just looks like production. That looks like fame seeking. But this year, it seems like most people are really there, at least with the idea that they could find a relationship out of this. I don't see anyone other than maybe Ace, and I'm not
Ace,
even
yeah.
saying in a bad way, is there to, make sure his stock rises,
He's
but I
gotta
don't
boost
see
that dance company.
but I really don't see that even from anyone. Like, I think some people may say that about Nick, but I don't see that from him really. I don't see that
No.
from any of the girls.
No, I think you're right. I think I like it. I'm enjoying the season, dare I say more than last, which is an unpopular opinion, but I like that they are supporting each other, but they are having private conversations and saying, "Hey, honey, you looked nuts. Like, you gotta rein it in. I'm not doing it again." And so I
Mm.
think there's like a level of kindness and maturity that's going along with it. I think viewers and obviously Islanders are just exhausted by the Huda and Jeremiah of it all, by like Hurricane Huda. And so I'm hoping that she can get it together. And I think last night having Megan Thee Stallion there and infusing some joy and humor into it was a big deal. You know the craziest part about last night?
What's that?
They twerked with no music.
Do you think that there was no music,
I
or
know
do
for
you
a
think that they
fact.
cut the music out?
No, there was no music.
Dang,
There was no
that's
music, Brandon. Could you
that's pretty
imagine?
impressive.
Yeah.
So here, so you know, one thing to kind of wrap it all up is there's rumor that Paige is still on the island. Is that correct?
Yeah, that she's gonna do, like, an afterglow.
Oh, is that all though? She's not coming back for anything else?
I don't know.
I mean, that's so sad for her because she really fumbled the bag with this
I
situation for
know, it was a
sure.
bit of a swing and a miss. I think it's great that she got to be on there, and honestly, having a miss be funny is not a bad thing in terms of PR.
I
But
think they
yeah.
should have showed that though. Like that would have been funnier for the show. But they didn't show any of that. It's just like she disappeared. And I'm like,
Well, she
dang.
probably was like, "Don't show me, like, passing out and vomiting on this."
Well, that's what she needs to realize. Like sometimes seeing you in those moments is just as good for the brand as the really curated moments.
I just hate for her that she didn't get to show her cute dress, so I hope she does get to be is it called After Sun or Afterglow? Because I do think I
After
keep saying it
sun,
wrong. I don't know why I
after
keep saying
sun.
Afterglow. Um, oh, the other theory as to why Huda crashed out so hard, and I don't know this to be true, but they were saying that maybe she vapes, and on the island, you can't vape, and let me tell you, I've seen my
Oh
brother lose his vape,
boy.
and they go absolutely bonkers. Let me ask you this last thing about Love Island. Where does it rank for you in terms of now that I've introduced you to so many reality shows, how does this compare to the other ones that you like?
I mean, the thing about Love Island that I like is just the frequency.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's any better than any of the other reality shows, and I
See, I
sometimes
think
like
it is.
I really miss episodes of The Bachelor, like earlier episodes of The Bachelor, where we really were like trying to convince ourselves that these people were really here to find relationship and stuff, and like the dates and everything. I always kind of like that. But I do like the unhinged part of it, and I do like that it's like every single night you've got new information and it's in
Right.
real time. Like I love that. It really does feel like reality TV versus like a produced season of a show.
Mhm. I
So,
like Love Island a lot. I think the biggest feedback that I have for a lot of these producers is just I want more unknown people. And I think these people are pretty good as unknowns. Like, Ace had a decent following. Some of them have like a good amount of followers on Instagram, but they have like regular jobs and are doing their thing. I think the more we can do that, the better. I get so annoyed seeing like enormous influencers go on these things because they have to be concerned about their brand. And I
of
don't
course,
think you get the level of mess and intrigue and interest if someone has that in the back of their head.
agreed.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all the things. We need engagement, baby. We are trying to build a brand. So hit that follow, hit that like, and we will see you soon.
Pop Snitch Pod on TikTok and Instagram, and popstitch.com for everything else.
Bye.